All praise to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, double honor to the elders and apostles of Judgements who were well. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat New Moon, Shalom to the hopefully elect. This is a news article in the Mail Online. It says teenager 19 stabs sisters aged 27 and 46 to death in Wembley Park as part of a pact with a demon so he could win the lottery murder trial. Here's Daniel Hussein, 19, allegedly stabbed Bibba Henry, 46, and Nicole Smallman, 27. Their bodies were later found in Wembley, northwest London, in June last year. Police allegedly found handwritten note in the home of Hussein, who denies murder. Note purported to make a bargain with a demon to sacrifice women, court told. A teenager killed two sisters in a brutal knife attack after seeking a deal with the devil to sacrifice women in order to win the lottery, a court heard today. Daniel Hussein, 19, allegedly stabbed Nicole Smallman, 27, and Bibba Henry, 46, multiple times in Wembley, northwest London, in the early hours of June 6 last year. Earlier that night, Miss Henry had been celebrating her birthday with her sister and friends at Frient Country Park. The women's bodies were found intertwined and concealed in a hedgerow the next day. And this goes into the scriptures telling women that a man is a hedge of protection, because at the end of the day they shouldn't have been out there by themselves. I believe they were partying, and people left the party and they continued to party by themselves. That their close friends became concerned and they went back to the park. The police were alerted after the woman's glasses were discovered by the searchers. A few moments later, a knife was found lying in the grass. A short of flattened grass led to a shocking discovery of the bodies. Mr. Glasgow said the prosecutor said the woman had been butchered one after the other. It just shows you, that women are the weaker vessel, because if both of you can't defend against one man with a knife, it just shows that women do need men as protection, especially to protect them from other men, because some of these dudes are bugged out. And at the end of the day, the scriptures say whoever perished being innocent, but this dude is a complete friggin' demon, man. Miss Henry was stabbed 8 times, and Miss Smallman was stabbed 28 times. Damn. So this little lady here was stabbed 28 times, Mr. Glasgow suggested Miss Henry was taken by surprise and was overpowered first, and Miss Smallman attempted to fight off her attacker. Once the two sisters have been brutally murdered, their killer dragged their bodies across the grass and concealed them in a hedgerow, he said. The day after the killings, Hussein went to Northwick Park Hospital seeking treatment for the cut on his hand, claiming he had sustained the injury during a robbery by a group of boys. This guy is a demon and a liar, bruv. It says forensic analysis of the knife, which he bought at Asda, and they even found the receipts that he bought at Asda a few days earlier. This dumb demon. Forensic analysis of the knife found DNA matching that of Miss Smallman. Hussein, juries heard. Can't even clean the knife properly. What idiot. The police heard that a combination of forensic evidence and CCTV footage led police to Hussein. His DNA was at the scene on the bodies of the victims and on a bloodstained knife found nearby, was alleged. In addition, Hussein had allegedly bought a set of knives in Asda and attended hospital the day after the killings with cuts to his hand from a knife. Investigators also uncovered handwritten notes at the defendant's home setting out his intention to kill women as part of a sacrifice to secure personal advantage for himself, Mr. Glasgow said. He told jurors when the defendant's bedroom was searched, the police found a handwritten document purporting to be an agreement between the defendant and a demon, in which he promised to sacrifice women in order to win the lottery and not to be suspected of any crime he had committed. So he fully believed his own smoke. It would appear the defendant had confidence that his plan would work, since following the fatal attacks upon Bibba Henry and Nicole Smallman, the defender purchased several lottery tickets and free lottery tickets folded up inside the agreement he had written with the devil, and he clearly did not try to get rid of any evidence, this donut. Mr. Glasgow added, as it turned out, the demon did not come good on the bargain, since not only did the defendant not win the lottery, but the police identified all the evidence that links him to these two murders. The defendant does not accept that he played any part in the murder, but we will have to wait and see what possible explanation the defendant can offer for the forensic evidence that proves he is lying and that he is a murderer. Even if it were possible for the defendant to construct an incredible tale of a conspiracy designed to frame an innocent man by planting his blood and DNA all over Friant country park. Such a conspiracy cannot explain what the police found when they searched his mother's home in Eltham. Hussein of Blackheath, South East London, had denied double murder and possessing a knife. The trial before Miss Justice Whipple is due to go on for up to 4 weeks. And it just shows, hey, these women, you really need a man as a hedge of protection, because these guys are nuts out here. Even there's a woman that was killed by the police, and this woman. UK police admits to kidnapping and raping Sarah Everard, and I believe our GMS Fear the Most High did the story on it. This woman was walking from, I believe, Clapham Junction through Brixton, and if anyone that knows South London, those are like, crime-ridden areas, and she was walking late at night by herself. You women need to understand. You're really supposed to have a man as a hedge of protection. You can't be out there being exposed. As it says, give not a wicked woman liberty to get abroad. You're supposed to be kept in straight and not be out there doing this stuff, partying by your souls and stuff. You need a man to protect you, just in case some crazy ass dude like this guy comes along. And this is Ezekiel 16:21, that thou hast slain my children and delivered them to cause them to pass through the fire for them. And it's talking about sacrificing, unto Baal, and in all thy abominations and thy whoredoms thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, when thou hast walked naked and bare, and was polluted in thy blood. And it came to pass after all thy wickedness, woe, woe unto thee, saith the Lord God, that thou hast also built unto thee an eminent place, and hast made thee an high place in every street. So this is these people, not to say he's an Israelite. We don't know what his lineage goes back to. He looks like an Arab or something. But these people, Israel was following after the customs of the heathen, and he's a heathen, and these heathen love, sacrificing people onto Baal. And he probably bugged the hell out, man. Probably watched too many YouTube videos talking about these people sacrificing, for gain and notoriety and material wealth and all of that stick, and he probably, had some form of psychosis, which really just a bunch of demons. He sort of likes to put his names on things that are clearly described, in the scriptures, and he comes up with his own philosophy of what that is. But this guy just had a bunch of demons on him, and he believed that, that would lead him to material wealth, because this place is so messed up that everybody here is, basically just starving and hungry, because this isn't a righteous kingdom. So people just do whatever they want, to be able to make it, because you really can't work and be honest and really get anywhere in Esau's kingdom. You have to be unscrupulous to get anywhere. And these people, you know this on some level. The people I know who are successful, that they're successful by going along with the ethos of this kingdom, which isn't anything good. Whether or not it be Kevin Samuels, and he caters to women, and he acts like he's a Christian, but he doesn't really believe in the scriptures. I know people who, they might have their own social media page, but they can't really tell the truth because they're going to lose followers. So you have to be fake in this kingdom to be able to make it, and you have to do unscrupulous things. And this guy, he instinctively kind of knew that, because he felt like he had to resort to killing people to gain, material wealth. Because you can't just go out there, work, and get a house. You're going to have to work for like 10, 20 years, which is just off. You shouldn't have to be working more than 5, 10 years max to be able to, build a house and to look after your family. This kingdom is just off, and it just causes people to just lose their friggin' minds. Leviticus 18:21, and thou shalt not let any of thy seed pass through the fire to Molech, neither shalt thou profane the name of thy God. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not lie with mankind, and that, that's not really relevant to this. And this is 2 Kings 17, so 17:17. So there's many instances of people sacrificing their children for Molech, and this is just a modern day, interpretation of that. Even though he didn't sacrifice his children, he sacrificed somebody else's children, namely women. 2 Kings 17:17, and they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and use divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. And he's a spirit created for vengeance at the end of the day. Because even when it just shows you how stupid this guy is. Because even when you do look into those videos, they talk about to really harvest or harness that energy, you need like a child, a virgin, and all of that stuff. And this guy just went and just stabbed up a couple, might be Jakes, might not be Jakes, bunch of women who just been repeatedly ran through. So, according to what he believes is true, that's not even the correct way to do it. Not to say I know anything about that, but I'm just saying, if if guy's watching the YouTube video and clearly he's not the brightest tool in the box, if you're gonna stab somebody and leave a murder weapon around and leave a paper trail because he bought it with a card and it says he has receipts from him going to Asda and buying a knife. I mean, you real stupid. You real stupid. Like, you couldn't use cash. You could not. I swear, these people are just dumb as hell, man. This is 2 Chronicles 33:6, and he calls his children to pass through the fire in the valley of the son of Hinnom. Also, he observed times and used enchantments and used witchcraft and dealt with a familiar spirit and with wizards. He wrought much evil in the sight of the Lord to provoke him to anger. So this is a way of the Lord getting, three birds with one stone. And if you look into Judges here, it talks about Jephthah, the Gileadite, was a mighty man of valor, and he was the son of a harlot, and Gilead begat Jephthah. And when you look into Jephthah's story, this is a story of sacrifice on the right hand side, not on the left. Because it was a willing sacrifice from his sacrificee, if that's the word. And Jephthah vowed a vow unto the Lord and said, if thou shalt without fail deliver the children of Ammon into mine hands, then it shall be that whatsoever cometh forth of the doors of my house to meet me when I return in peace from the children of Ammon shall surely be the Lord's, and I will offer it up for a burnt offering. In the same way that Abraham was looking to offer up Isaac. So Jephthah passed over. Not is it Isaac? Let me get that right, because I don't want to butcher that. Yeah, he did sacrifice Isaac. Let me start that again. When I return in peace from the children of Ammon shall surely be the Lord's, and I will offer it up for a burnt sacrifice. So Jephthah passed over the children of Ammon to fight against them, and the Lord delivered them into his hand, and he smote them from Oriah or Roa, even till thou come to Minnith, even 20 cities, and onto the plain of the vineyards, with a very great slaughter. Thus the children of Ammon were subdued before the children of Israel. And Jephthah came to Mizpah unto his house, and behold, his daughter came out to meet him with timbrels and with dances, and she was his only child. Beside her he had neither son nor daughter. And it came to pass, when he saw that he rent his clothes and said, alas, my daughter, thou hast brought me very low, and thou art one of them that trouble me, for I have opened my mouth unto the Lord, and I cannot go back. And she said unto him, my father, if thou hast opened thy mouth unto the Lord, do to me according to that which hath proceeded out of thy mouth. For as much as the Lord hath taken vengeance for thee of thine enemies, even of the children of Ammon. See, this was a willing participant, and it's a sad story. But at the end of the day, when you make a pledge unto the Lord, you have to hasten to fulfill that pledge. This guy made a pledge unto demons, and he clearly didn't know what the hell he was talking about or doing. But what Jephthah did was on the right hand side. What this guy did was on the left hand side. But he wasn't even really he weren't communing with no demons, man. More chances are he probably didn't even have any Aleister Crowley books, and he was looking up all of that. Not to say I know about that, but these people, if he had a brain, he would have thoroughly researched how to come across that. And in my community, he's known as Juju. You have witch doctors and all of this stuff, and you hear stories here and there. But this guy, he didn't know what the hell he was doing. But it just shows you in this day and age that these people are just bugging the hell out, And a lot of judgments are coming upon women these days. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. All praises to the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, double honors to the elders and apostles of Judgements who were well. Shalom to the elect. Shabbat, new moon.